Pretty, isn't it? Almost as pretty as doing well in a Warhammer 40k tournament. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another Glacial Geek video. I'm Phil, the Glacial Geek, and today I'm coming to you here from Northport, New York, on Long Island here, the North Shore, Western Suffolk County. This is where I grew up. I grew up here in Northport, and I'm here for a friend's wedding, and I figured I may as well take you down here to one of my favorite places in the world, really, down here in Northport Harbor. It's just beautiful, really serene, and really wonderful place to be. And highly recommend if you're ever out here that you come on and check it out, because it's a really great place. But I wasn't able to get a video done before I had to fly up here for the wedding, because this last weekend I was at DreamHack in Atlanta, Georgia, playing in the 40k tournament there, and also working with the Army Painter there in their booth. And I decided I wanted to do a video kind of about my experience with that and just kind of what was going on, and just kind of tell you kind of what happened. So DreamHack was an incredible event, like an incredible event. And I had just a ton of fun, and it was just like I called it just overstimulation physically manifest. And what it meant was that I just was able to just, it was just like so many things going on. They had smoke machines, like laser lights, and all sorts of like different, you know, songs and music and all different things going on. And they had these big esports competitions that were going on, that they had like, I think like $1 million on the line for some of them. And it was just like on a level way beyond whatever we get in, that we get at the, you know, in any kind of like 40k or miniature wargaming world. And it was really kind of cool to see that in action and see what they have and see what they do, and just be there and be able to feel that energy and just like really enjoy the atmosphere. So it was a very unique place to kind of have a 40k tournament in there. But really what they're trying to do is they're trying to expand their tabletop offerings at these events and things like that. So that's where they came up with that conversation that they wanted to have, and they decided to run it. So it was Chris Powell was the one that was running the singles tournament that I was in. He's the guy who runs the events for Warzone Atlanta. So you know, you knew it was going to be in good hands, and it was. It was a ton of fun, a really well-run tournament with a lot of fun people that I got to play against, and I had 5 incredible opponents. So let's get into the tournament itself. I brought that list that I've been talking about. It hasn't changed, because when they came out with the codex for the Imperial agents, it didn't affect anything, because they kept the same 100 points for the Calidus Assassin, which meant that I didn't have to change my list, so I didn't want to, because I was having some luck with it and did well with it at an RTT. So I thought, why not give it a shot here at like a bigger GT kind of thing. So I went with the same list, and I ran into my first round was against Brian and his Imperial Knights. And we had just so much fun. He was an incredible opponent, really had a good time. We were enjoying each other's company as much as we were, you know, playing the game. And that's the whole point to me, go into these things, is to have that. So you have the sense that you are both trying really hard, you're really trying to do well, but the main emphasis is to enjoy ourselves and have a good time. And we absolutely did. It was a ton of fun. His Imperial Knights were up against my guys, and so we had Knights on Knights, Deathwing Knights versus Imperial Knights. And we had a ton of fun. And my list did very well into it. You know, the 4-up, the anti-vehicle 4+ with the Deathwing Knights really helps when you're going against Knights, because their high toughness is usually like a big leveler when it comes to a lot of these things. Another thing that I learned quickly is with my Eradicators is taking the opportunity to overwatch vehicles with it, because you get the innate rerolls that you have with it, and when you have them placed there, you're getting, you know, you have the you know, the sustained fire, and you have the sustained fire, and you have the lethal hits and stuff like that you get in that squad, and you get to reroll hits and wounds and damage against vehicles, as in shooting as well, in Overwatch as well, because it just says when you're taking a shooting attack. So being able to reroll those makes Overwatch a bit more, you know, of a thing that's going to happen, as opposed to just hoping for that, like that 1/6. You usually can get a couple 6s, and it worked really well. And I used it throughout the tournament against anyone that had the vehicles, or vehicles or monsters. So anytime you got against them, you can just do that. So I did manage to get the win against the Imperial Knights. I just was able to outlast them and sit on their points and get my secondaries the way I needed to. And having the tools in my list to be able to do that, like the jump pack intercessors or the Calidus Assassin, to be able to jump and go where I needed to score the points, while leaving my other units available to go and kill things like they should. That's what they were paying for the points for them for. Was super effective and super strong for me. So yeah, got started off the event strong there with that first win. Moving into the second round of the tournament, and I was up against Nick and his Tyranids. It was a lot of monsters in that one, so he had a lot of Maleceptors, he had Exocrines, and I ended up having to go first, and I wasn't able to really get myself into a position. He screened me out really well with his gaunts. He had a bunch of them too, just to screen. And he was able to keep me back from being able to engage with his big bugs as effectively as I wanted to. And that left me with just, I had a couple charges that I just didn't quite pull off. And at the end of the day, I wasn't able to get enough points to get the victory there against the Nids. They're strong. I mean, they're strong, and especially with those monsters, they don't go down very easily, and they are, you have to engage in them in an effective way, and he did a really good job of keeping them in a position that they were able to stay kind of hidden back, or hiding away from my Deathwing Knights, really, with the small guys. That kept me from being able to engage, and then he would just shoot me off the board, is kind of what it came down to. I was able to, again, do that Overwatch against some of his monsters, so that was kind of effective, and I really enjoyed being able to do that, but just wasn't enough to get the victory. And that was day one. The way that it worked, it was going to be 2 days of two games, and then 1 day of one game, 3-hour rounds, and it was just like a really chill, awesome atmosphere, and I really enjoy that kind of play. 3 games in a day is tough. It's a lot of 40K. It's a lot of gaming. You're there for a long time, and this gave us the opportunity to have like the space and ability to kind of enjoy what else was going on with the convention. So really enjoyed that. So on to day 2, and my first game of day 2 was up against Matt and his Daemons. So he had I can't remember the named greater demon of Nurgle. He had a regular great unclean one, and then he also had the Zinch one. The bird boy? He had them, and he had a bunch of other smaller ones. And we had continuing this, you're going to hear me say it for every single one, but we had an awesome game, ton of fun, awesome opponent. He had the most beautiful painted army ever. He did an incredible job, and I think he ended up winning Best in Show for that, not just for our tournament. There was also a team tournament that was going on, and I think they did a Best of Show between the two, and he well deserved. He was an incredible artist. He has an incredible army that was a lot of fun to play against, and he was a really fun opponent to play against. So being able to do that was awesome. And at the end of the day, I was able to kill enough things where I needed to. I did Overwatch onto his great unclean one with my eradicators, and having that reroll just made a big difference. It made all the difference, really. So I was able to get that off and do what I needed to, and killed the big boys down to the point. I don't think I ended up killing the Lord of Change. That's the word I was looking for. Lord of Change, but I did kill the other two and was able to get to a place with all of them that I was able to just get myself into a place where I was effective and be able to get onto the points that I needed to get me the win, which was fun. So then on to the second game of day 2, and I was playing against Chilson and his Genestealer cults. That was the first time that I've played into the Genestealer cults with my Dark Angels, and they're tough. They just keep coming back. They're like the Weeble Wobbles of 40K here, where you think you killed them and then they come back and they just pop up again. And he did a really good job of putting himself in positions where he needed to kind of winnow down my units and get what he needed to. But I was able to outlast him and just keep alive and just charge into the ones that I needed to, shoot down the ones I needed to, and keep myself going to the point that I was able to get enough points at the end. The game against what was it, the game against Matt, I won by 1 point, and the game against Chilson, I think I won by 5 points. So like, we're talking like really close games, and those are just so much fun to play. At the end of the day, it just comes down to just the luck of the draw, the way it comes there. But we both played very well. All of my opponents played very well, and we all put it in, and it was just like a really close, fun, a ton of fun game. And at the end, got to meet new people and play some awesome games. So at the end of the day 2, I was 3-1 and having a great time. Came back on the Sunday for the 5th and final round, and that was against Daniel and playing against Daniel and his Aeldari. Again, like he had a strong matchup. He was really good at positioning where he was doing very boat heavy with his list. He also had the Avatar of Cain. And I was able to take down the Avatar of Cain. Again, I did the Overwatch thing into the Avatar of Cain, got 4 points onto him there. He charged into my Deathwing Knights. I put another 4 wounds onto them, and then I charged in with my Inner Circle Companions and was able to put the last 4 wounds on him. So by round 2, I was able to kill the Avatar of Cain, which was huge. Was able to get me the center, held the center. There were a lot of opportunities for scoring points there that came up with my secondaries. Was able to do that and had a really, really good time with that. So, but he was an awesome opponent. I've met him many times before, and we're friends, and it was awesome to be able to play with someone that I just had a good time with. And his daughter was there, and getting to watch Dad play the game and having a good time with each other. And then they went off. We were able to go off and enjoy the rest of the convention together. She was very excited to go see the Lego booth that they had going on there. So. But yeah, it was a great time, great opponents. So at the end of 5 rounds, I was 4-1, and I ended up coming in 4th place, which was pretty amazing. But even better for me was that I ended up tied for best sportsman at the tournament with Chilson. So with my 4th round opponent, both of us tied. We both dropped. So the way they work, the Warzone Atlanta things, they have the sportsmanship. So they have a sheet that you put down, you mark, you check your, things that asks you like, was your opponent respectful of your time? Were they, was it a fun game? Like all these other stuff. And the final, so it's 5 different things. And then at the final one was this one of the best 40K games that you've ever had in your life? And both of us dropped 1 point out of all 25 that you could possibly get there throughout the course of the entire tournament. So, like I said, it was just so much fun. Everyone's having a good time, but I felt pretty proud that I was able to have, such that my opponents felt like they had such good time with me, and being able to play there and dropping 1 point out of all that was impressive. It was a lot of fun. I didn't get the trophy though, because they had us roll off, and of course, Phil and Dice. So I lost the roll off there, and Chilson won. So he went home with the trophy, but the two of us kind of like were sportsmen at heart. He actually, in very good showing as being the sportsman, he had me come up and take pictures with it when we were doing the pictures at the end with the trophy winners. So he was like, he's like, you won just as much as I did. So a good side of a good sportsman if he's having someone come up take pictures with him. But yeah, it was again, I've said it 1,000 times, and I will keep saying it. I had a ton of fun, and I really can't wait to go back next year. They really wanted to expand it, and I can't highly recommend it more to anybody if you get the opportunity to come to the DreamHack, the tournaments of DreamHack, because there's just it's a very different experience playing at like this like big video game esports competition, having the tournament there, just because the atmosphere is huge. Like there was crowds cheering for the esports teams going on the entire time. There was smoke and lasers and all sorts of different stuff. There was free Monster energy drinks because Monster was sponsoring the event, and yeah, we just had a great time. Really, really did have a great time. Everyone there, I can't thank them enough for having a great time. We also had a great time in the booth at the Army Painter. They were doing paint and takes, so they had people could come up and paint models, and there were a lot of people that painted their very first model there that weekend, and had a really good time and just seeing it. And yeah, like I said, the atmosphere there was just something is very different, and and in all the right ways, in all the best ways. It really was an incredible experience to be able to do that, and I highly recommend you guys try it again if you can. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. If you've ever been to like a big esports competition or DreamHack in particular, let me know down below what you thought, or if you think that's kind of the thing that you'd be interested in. Again, I'm very proud of what I was able to accomplish with the Dark Angels. I'm very excited about them going forward, and we'll see what happens with the balances. Honestly, I don't feel like the Dark Angels are doing well enough to really get the Nerf hammer. Like they're not dominating the top tables. They're doing well. They're they're people like John Lennon that are able to take them to some wins of tournaments. But at the same time, you don't see them just dominating. So I don't see them receiving a major backlash of the Nerf hammer. But we'll see what happens, what changes, and what they do. So I'm excited to see what it is, and let me know what you guys think about that and what you guys have done, and keep that conversation going. Always really do. And as you know, I am a member of the Army Painters Factory team. I got the shirt on right now today, and part of that was with my negotiation with that was that I wanted to make sure that you guys had some benefit, and it wasn't just for me, because I was in a position to be able to be with the Army Painter here because of you, because of the the subscribers and the comments and all the people that have supported me going up through this. But if I wanted to make sure there was something I could give back to you guys, so they gave me a code that you can use. If you use the code FactoryGeek5, you can save 5% off of any of your paints that you want to get from them, or any of the purchases that you can make through the Army Painter. So if you're looking for brushes or any kind of basic material, anything that they serve, or even the laser lock or the measuring tapes, you can get 5% off of your order there if you use that code from their website. So go over there, take that, and get yourself a discount. There's also a 10% discount in the Patreon. They want to keep that one behind the paywall. But if you go and support the Patreon, you can get 10% off with the code that they have inside the Patreon there, that you can check it out. You can honestly save yourself more money than you would pay into the Patreon with that discount code if you wanted to. So give that a shot and see what you can do for you there. But keep the conversation going. Really appreciate all the support you guys have given, and everything that we keep going forward with this. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this. I certainly have. I have been Phil, the Glacial Geek, as always. And until next time, stay safe and have fun.